we have to start off, guys. You're both wearing Patriots jerseys with a special video on Twitter by the man, the myth, the legend that a Steeler fan like me would hate, Tom Brady.
I'm gonna cry.
Good morning, guys. I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring for good. I know the process was a pretty big deal last time, so when I woke up this morning, I figured I'd just press record and let you guys know first. So I won't be long-winded. You only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year. So really thank you guys so much, to every single one of you, for supporting me, my family, my friends, my teammates, my competitors. I could go on forever. There's too many. Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing. Love you all.
Imagine just walking your dog on the beach, and then to the left of you, Tom Brady's just sitting there recording on his phone, retiring. Imagine that. Brandon, take it away, my friend.
Oh, so let's bring you back to yesterday morning when this news broke, when this video got released. I was at work. I saw it at first, and then I was like, wait, hold on 1 second. I gotta, go to really scroll through Twitter, and I gotta find this. And then I found it. And I watched it, and I mean, we all just watched it again right there. I've seen it about maybe that's the 6th or 7th time I've seen it, and it still gets you. You hear it in his voice. You can see the pain. It's something that I don't think any of us can really comprehend. I think only the elite of elite competitors can really comprehend. If you have any competitive bone in your body, you can kind of just get a sliver of understanding of what that pain is. It's something that, I mean, he doesn't want to go. You think back to maybe that quote, if you guys know it, from his dad, where they're gonna have to put a straitjacket on my son and pull him off the field to get him to retire. And it's kind of, you feel that from Tom. He doesn't want to walk away. We all know it's not his skill why he's walking away. Even though they had a down season, he was still playing, in my opinion, at an elite level, and showed that he can still play at an elite level. So it had nothing to do with that. I think it's just it's his time. It's time for him to move on to other things, bigger and better things. He's obviously got that major deal with Fox as a broadcaster. He's obviously got his responsibilities as a father that he's going to have to, hold on, this guy. All right. But just when I think back to Tom and really look back at his career, I posted a video on Twitter and TikTok, kind of my instant reactions. It was right after I literally had just shed a tear. Because you just think back at all the memories, especially as me as a Patriots fan. I mean, Tom Brady is the reason I'm a football fan. He's the reason I am a Patriots fan. He's one of my biggest role models, people I look up to. The story is absolutely inspiring. I think we all know it. I think some people don't know the full story, so I just want to give a little, peek into so he was a backup quarterback on his freshman high school team, guys, that finished 0-8. All right. And then he got the starting job, I think, in his junior and senior year. And then he went to Michigan, and when he enrolled in Michigan, he was the 6th string quarterback on that team. Sat behind him for 2 years. Then his last 2 years, his junior and senior year, he was able to start, but still battling with Drew Henson, if you remember that guy. And for his last year, his senior year, he was actually sharing snaps on the field with Drew Henson. Brady would get the first quarter, Henson would get the second quarter, and then the head coach would decide who plays the second half. That's how it's, you don't even like that. That's unfathomable to really think about. And then Brady was able to go on to beat Ohio State and then beat Alabama in the Orange Bowl. And then obviously the 6th-round pick, 199th overall, 4th-string quarterback his rookie year, working his way up to backup by the end of the year. And then Drew Bledsoe goes down against the Jets, and in comes Tom Brady, and the rest is literally NFL history. I think about him, and I think about how his career was basically a movie. It was something out of Hollywood. I mean, Hollywood couldn't have written it better. It's really unbelievable when you think about it, when you really look back at all his career stats, all his accomplishments, his accolades, who he was, how I've heard this a lot in the past day. Tom wasn't a great player coming out. He made himself a great player. And that's really what it is. He wasn't, I was watching another high school interview with him where he's being interviewed, and the interviewer asked him, "What are your strengths?" And he says, "Well, everybody tells me I got a pretty good arm, so that's good." He said, I got to work on my speed though. That'll come in time. And obviously, Tom Brady's not known for his speed, but we've seen some plays from Tom where he uses legs. The famous one of the Brian Urlacher juking him out. The one I just saw yesterday of him in the Atlanta Super Bowl where he rolls out to the right and runs straight up the middle for 15 yards. We've seen all of those. Joe Burrow brings up the hit that Brady got early in his career, and the helmet basically like is turned sideways. But guess what? Brady pops right back up, because as Brady says, it's always, you got to get back up. You can't show them that, they got the best of you right there. You got to get back up. How I'm going to remember Tom, to be honest with you, is somebody who was underrated, and I still think is underrated, underappreciated. And this is one of my favorite quotes from not him. It's from a professional wrestler, Cody Rhodes, who had kind of not a similar journey, but Tom Brady went from undesirable to ungoddamn deniable. You can't deny him. He will always come back. He'll always fight. I mean, we can even go back to his last game against Dallas, the playoff game. You guys saw it. You guys remember it. There's 4 minutes left in the game, and this guy is still acting like it's a tie ball game. He's still calling out routes. Guy drops a pass. He's like, "You gotta," runs the wrong route. He's like, "You gotta," he's like, "Hurrying up. Come on, we gotta go. We gotta go." He's still playing like it's his, like it's right there. That is the competitor in Tom Brady. He will get you to the bitter end. He's going to fight you, claw, scratch, anything he can. I'm gonna miss the guy. I already missed the guy. I missed him when he left New England. Now it really is setting in that this is the end. And I just, here's another thing that I think back to, and I know Justin will like this. Avengers Endgame, when Pepper, her last words to Tony Stark is, "You can rest now." And it kind of, I think back to that. Captain America had his send off. He got to live his good life without having to worry about anything else. Tony got to finally rest, and Tom is now, you can finally rest now, Tom. It's okay. So I just got to say thank you, Tom Brady. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the ups. Thank you for the downs. Thank you for everything. You changed the sport. You changed football. You're the greatest of all time in football. You're in my greatest of all time in sports, Mount Rushmore history. You're up there. And this isn't goodbye. It's see you later.
That would be in Canton, Ohio, where fortunately he will not be stealing Ben Roethlisberger's thunder. As Brandon, first ballot Hall of Famer. Tom Brady, 15-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, 7-time champion, 3-time MVP, 5-time Super Bowl champion, comeback player of the year, and the only player to win 3 Super Bowls in 3 decades. I feel like Tom Brady could have played until he's 50 years old. And that's something we don't see. Jerry Rice, yeah, at 40 years old, he was one of the better receivers in the league. But 2 years later, he dropped off in Seattle and Oakland, and he was barely even an NFL player. one of his nicknames is the comeback kid, and as a Steeler fan, even in his retirement, I'm still going to be thinking about the games against Pittsburgh where I knew we were going to lose, and that's the feeling that no other opponent has given me in my entire time watching sports, even LeBron James. Um, so I don't know where I'm going here, quite frankly. You mentioned we'll see Tom later. He has a 10-year, $370+ million contract waiting for him at Fox, and it's compelling. As somebody from New Jersey, Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson this year have been great. Lights out for Olson. Olson was the substitute for Tom, and Fox has had to basically juggle the unpredictability of what Tom's next move is going to be. If he went on to play for 2 more years, how would that affect, what was going on in the booth? Fortunately, Olson is really freaking good at what he does. Unlike a Chris Collinsworth, who never played in one of the meccas of football and was never a quarterback, he's done such a good job. You have yourself a great backup, or better yet, he can go to another company and serve as one of the key guys there. So I think that's very interesting too. The announcement post, what it reminded me of a little bit, was when you finish a really cool video game, especially like a Call of Duty, and you get to the ending. I'm thinking of like Call of Duty Ghosts, but better yet, like Black Ops 1. You get to the ending after a storybook mission, you accomplish the unforgettable, and then it's just, a feeling of sweet victory that I at least yet in my life probably won't be able to fully bask in, but it's something very interesting that sit on the beach after a 23-year playing career where I could have gone for 7 more seasons if I wanted to, but I decided to hang them up. It's a weird feeling that I think most people will never fully understand,
As an athlete, you never know when your last game is going to happen. One day you're playing on the field and you're looking forward to the next year. I mean, to take you back like to when COVID hit, a lot of athletes just didn't know that maybe their last season was right there. They're in the midst of it. So you just never know when those playing days are over. So you cherish every single one of them. I guess that's my advice to anybody listening that is an athlete. Just cherish every single one of those moments. But on to Brady, I think one of the things that stands out to me the most is the guy said he was going to play till he was 45, and he did. And at the same time, we're all still surprised that he actually retired because he could still play at that level that he could have played till he was possibly 46, maybe even 47 years old. And honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if he could have pushed it even more. The guy just lives and breathes and bleeds football. And that's one thing that we've seen, and it was clear as day. I think for me, for Tom Brady, much like what Brandon said, is the reason that I fell in love with football. He's the reason that I deal with scrutiny as a New Yorker walking around with a Patriots dad hat and getting criticized. Like, oh, you're from New York. How could you do that? Well, take you way back when I was a kid. I was watching a football game. It was Patriots Jets. Patriots handled them very easily. And I just fell in love with the Patriots ever since. It starts as a bandwagon because I'm a little kid. That's all I know. But it turned into a lifetime of fandom and appreciation. Getting to see him one year as a kid in Gillette for a preseason game. I think it was Jimmy Garoppolo's rookie season too. So I got to see him play against the Eagles in a preseason game. Tom Brady made me fall in love with football. And if you guys didn't notice, but all of my socials, whether it be my Instagram or my Twitter, they all have the number 12 in it. And I put that there for a reason. Tom Brady's my favorite athlete of all time. The guy is a straight up winner, a motivator, and I've been arguing about him being the greatest of all time since I was a little kid going to get stuff from the deli up the block from my house. And that was back in the day when he only had 3 Super Bowls to his belt, and people were telling me Montana was the greatest. Well, I'm glad to say that 10 years later, Tom Brady has proved me right, and he still is and will forever be the greatest quarterback of all time. And while, as Patrick Mahomes dominates the NFL, nobody's going to have that same impact that Tom Brady has. But like John, you read all the stats, the 7-time Super Bowl champion, 5-time Super Bowl MVP, the accolades we can go on and on about. But overall, Tom Brady is just probably the greatest team sports athlete of all time. I know that's something that can be debated when you look into Jordan and some other players too, but I think as Brandon said it best when he puts him on his Mount Rushmore. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate the football memories. My Patriots are not the same without you. And I guess this is why it doesn't hurt me as much. It doesn't make me feel as sad because I had 3 years without him and he was still playing. But when he left New England, it definitely stung. This is more of a, all right, Tom, you left the league in good hands.
The first player in NFL history to win multiple Super Bowls after turning 40. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this graphic on Twitter where it's, okay, Tom, you can let go now. And it's like the big bear holding on to the hands of Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and then Daniel Jones. I'm like, what the hell is Daniel Jones doing here, guys? Come on. Come on. Like, this is the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen. Putting the 19th best quarterback in the league up in the top five. Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable.